Hi everybody, happy Tuesday. Welcome to another episode of Tuesday Live at 5. I'm actually live at 5 today. My son has a week off from rehearsal, so I get to come to you live at my usual time. So today I am really excited about these projects because I love the suite that they come from. I'm featuring the Sweetest Thing Bundle, which is part of the How Sweet It Is suite, no pun intended, on page 14 and 15 in the Occasions catalog. I think the thing I love most about this suite is the bright colors in the DSP. Gorgeous Grape and Coastal Cabana and Melon Mambo are actually three of my very favorite Stampin' Up colors. So I can't help but love this suite. So if you're like me and you love bright, bold colors, you're going to love this suite. So today we're working on these three projects. I'm going to give you some tips and how-tos, and let's get right to it, okay? We are going to start with a quick and easy card. This was one that the guests at my customer appreciation event this weekend actually put together, and it is super, super easy. So I'm going to talk for just a minute. Oh, before I do that, let me show you the stamp set and the dies. So this is your stamp set. Okay, it's got some fun Apothecary jars and little candies to go inside, and then some fun sentiments and a great couple of labels that all coordinate with dies in the die set. Okay, so we have framelits, but we also have some little thinlits that cut cute little candies that we're going to use on a couple of the projects. So that is that. All right, now back to our project. So one of the things that makes this such a quick and easy project is the fact that the only stamping on here is the sentiment, if you can believe it. These were actually die cut from the DSP using the dies in the framelit set. So look at this. So these fit the DSP absolutely perfectly. All right, so super easy. All I did was run them through my Big Shot. All right, this is a piece of Highland Heather cardstock, which is cut to 4 by 5 1/4 inches, okay? And then I ran it through the Big Shot with the Polka Dot Basics embossing folder. All right, then I took a 1.5, so 1.5 wide by 4, I think it's 1.5, yeah. 1.5 wide by 4 inch piece of DSP, okay? And this is from that Sweetest Thing pack that's part of this suite. And I just laid it across the front and glued it down. So we're gonna do that real quick. Oh, I see 2 people watching. Give me a shout out if you're here. Well, let me know who's out there watching me. It's always more fun when I know I'm not talking to myself. Okay, so we're gonna slap this guy on here. All right, I did that 3/4 of an inch over, just so you know. And then I have a little bit of Gorgeous Grape mini striped ribbon. So I'm gonna take, whoopsie, oh, here we go again. It's freezing in here. My glue dots don't want to cooperate. Here we go. I can't wait for summer. Anybody else done with winter? Oh, we've got a big freezing rain warning on here tonight, so we're supposed to get some nasty, nasty weather overnight and tomorrow. Good times. Gotta love winter in Canada. All right, so there's my ribbon. Then I can go ahead and fold my card base. Now this is Gorgeous Grape cardstock. It's cut to 5.5 by 8.5, okay, and then I've scored it in the middle at 4 1/4. And again, I will put all these dimensions in the video description later, and I always forget to bring a bone folder over here when I'm doing my lives. All right, so then I can go ahead and glue that onto the front of my card base. So I'm just gonna add a bit of fast fuse real quick. And pop that onto there. My upside down stamping. It is not your camera, it is not your phone. It is me just putting it on upside down. Oh, hi Alfie, hi Leith. Yes, Leith, I am feeling much better. Thank you for asking. Sometimes all we need is a bit of rest, right? All right. Now I have a couple of stitched rectangles, die cut with those awesome dies that I seem to be addicted to these days. This larger one is cut from Coastal Cabana cardstock. So I'm just gonna go ahead and glue that down flat on the front of my card. Let's do it right about here. There we go. And then this piece is cut from Pool Party. So if you look at the striped DSP in behind, it's got both the Coastal Cabana and the Pool Party. That's why I pulled those 2 colors in. Now before I glue this one down, I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. I'm going to stamp my happy birthday sentiment. And I'm just going to use some Gorgeous Grape ink. Okay, make sure that's good and inky. Now, when I go to glue to do this, I want to think about where my Apothecary jars are going to go. All right, so I just cut random jars for this kit, so they're not exactly the same as the ones on my sample. Doesn't really matter. You get lots of different jar designs with different candy fillings. So that just gives me an idea of where those jars are going to go, and that way I can get my sentiments centered. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue that onto my card. And we'll center that on the Coastal Cabana. Right about there. Okay. And then my jars I'm going to put on with some dimensionals. I'm still a little croaky. My throat's still got some phlegm in there. So if I have to clear my throat, I apologize. It's not my favorite sound, and I'm sure it isn't yours either. But sometimes these things cannot be helped. And then we'll put another one on here. And I like using the minis for down the bottom of the jar just to make sure that they stay adhered. And you'll notice I'm putting my dimensionals in the middle. That's so that I can overlap them without them bumping up. So this one I'm going to do a little bit lower and off to the side, just like that. Okay. Then I'm going to actually take some Wink Estella and I'm going to wink my jars because, you know, as Leith knows, everything looks better when it's winked. So I'm just going to take and add a little bit of shimmer to my jars here. I'm just sort of adding, like following the highlights on the jars, just adding some shine. I'm not doing the whole jar. I just want to add some highlights here. You could, of course, do the whole jar if you wanted to, but you don't need to watch me brush wink all over my card. There we go. All right. Now, next is a bow. You ready for your weekly bow lesson? You're right, Leith. It does. It does make everything better. Okay, so here I have some of this awesome, gorgeous Grape mini stripe ribbon. This is such fun ribbon. I love the little stripes, and it's really easy to tie. So here we go. I'm taking my ribbon between my thumb and my index and middle fingers. Okay. Then I'm going to pinch and make 2 bunny ears. Okay. So there are my bunny ears. I'm going to take my left bunny ear. I'm going to cross it over the right one, and I'm going to bring the loop around and through that little loop that's formed. And there is a quick and easy peasy bow. All right, so then I just play with the size of the loops till I have them the size I want them. And trim my tails. And then it's going to go onto my card with a glue dot. Quick and easy. Just like that. All right. My last touch is to add some of these awesome little glimmer enamel dots. These are actually not part of the suite, but they go perfectly with the suite. They've got all the colors in these dots are in the suite. So we've got the Coastal Cabana, the Lemon Lime Twist, the Melon Mambo, and the Gorgeous Grape. So it's like these Stampin' Up! Knew this suite was coming when they came out with these dots and added them to make our lives more magical. So here we go, and let's do a lemon lime one down here. Okay, and again, just a reminder, when you're adding these kinds of elements to your cards, you always want to think about making a triangle, right? It makes it more visually appealing. All right, quick and easy, right? Right, now on the inside of my sample, I added a Whisper White layer and just stamped Make It a Sweet Celebration on the inside. So really quick and easy. The dies just make cutting out those jars super, super, super fast. All right, project number 1 in the books. Moving on. This out of the way. We're going to need that. All right. Our next project is this cute, hi Laura, hope you're having a good week, is this cute little treat cup. So these treat cups are part of the suite. I'll just show you where to find them. These are easy to miss because they're kind of white on white in the catalog. So they're on page 15. They're right here. You get 10 in a pack for $11.50. So they're just over $1 per cup, $1.15 to be exact per cup. And they're quite large, okay? This would hold, well, a lot of candy. Like I would go to the bulk store and get a lot of candy to fill that up. But I'm going to give you a couple of tips for covering them, okay? They come plain white. This is what they look like when you get them. Okay, they're just plain white. They look like little mini ice cream containers almost. Hi, Judith. Hope you're having a good week. So the first time I wanted to cover one of these, all I did is I took one of these apart. So I separated it at the seam. I did my roll up the rim thumbs. For those of us in Canada, you know what I'm talking about. Rolled the rim up on this and then just kind of sliced it with an X-Acto knife and peeled it away from the base. And that created a template that I then traced onto just some grid paper, okay, to make a template for cutting my DSP. And that's because if I just cut my DSP straight, these are flared, right? So you wouldn't get an exact fit. It would be kind of lumpy and bumpy, and I wanted it to fit nice and smoothly, okay? So really easy to do, and then once you make your template, write all over it that it's a template so you don't throw it out. Actually, I had to fish in the garbage to find this because I threw it out by accident. Anywho, so that's how I made my template. And I have already gone ahead and cut out. So all I did is I traced my template on the back side of the DSP pattern that I wanted, okay? Cut it out with my paper snips. And then it's going to be really easy, you'll see when I glue it on here, to fit it on there nice and snug, okay? So to do that, all I'm going to do is take a little bit of fast fuse and put it on one end. Actually, I'm going to put it on both ends because that will make my life easier. And then I'm going to start, I kind of start where the seam is on the cup, okay? And I'm just going to tuck it right in up underneath that rim and just rolling around there, making sure it's on nice and snug around the rim. Okay, and then just glue it down. Okay, just like that. Okay, and see there's a little bit of a gap there. I can just take my sip. This is just from trimming it by hand, right? Because I traced it, so it's not going to be completely precise. So then I can just take my snips around the edge and just trim that excess off. There we go. Beautiful. Quick and easy, right? All right. Now, that's all there was to covering the base, okay? It's just some DSP, super easy. Okay, now for the lid, we're going to do a little bit more. So to start, I took some of the DSP, same DSP I used on the base, and I cut the largest plain circle from the layering circles. Okay, so layering circles, framelits, I can't speak today. I cut the largest circle from the DSP, and then I cut the largest scallop circle from Melon Mambo cardstock. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and glue those on. Again, whenever I'm layering circles or layering anything, I like to use the Tombow because it lets me wiggle it until I get it perfectly centered. I find circles especially, it's helpful to have the Tombow so that you can wiggle it and get it centered. All right. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead. There's that croakiness again. I'm going to add a little bit more Tombow to the back of the scallop. And I'm going to adhere that right in the middle of my lid, just like that. Okay, hi Debbie, how are you? How's the weather down in Virginia? Hope it's better than here. We're supposed to get some nasty freezing rain tonight. All right, so there's my lid. Now, to make my little label, I want to point out a couple of things. First of all, these are the little sweet pins and tags. So this, again, is from the Sweet. They're on the same page, page 15. And again, easy to miss. So these little tags, at first, when I first saw them in the catalog, I thought they were pretty small, but they're actually quite large. So this is one shape. You get 8 of 3 different shapes, so 24 tags all together in the package. So that's one shape. There are just plain circles, and then there are these cute little sort of tag square kind of shapes. And I'm not sure if this shows on the video, but they have these sort of sparkly, glittery edges all the way around. And I really love that, and I think they make awesome layers for projects. Now, the other thing that I should mention that comes in these with the tags are these little pins. So these are meant, you can pin them onto a box or as a gift tag, right? How awesome would these be for Christmas, right? These little pins, easy to pin onto a bow or onto ribbon. Anyhow, I digress. Let's get these out of the way, and I'll show you how I did this little tag. So you'll notice, or maybe you can't see, on the background here, so if I go and lay my tag on here, it's going to be white on white, which looks okay, but I kind of wanted to have a little bit more contrast. You see the contrast in blue there and behind? Now that's not a layer. Oh, 70s today, Debbie? Oh, don't say that. I'm so jealous. We had a nice day on Monday. Well, it was mild. It wasn't nice. It was gray, but it was mild. So to add my color to the tag, all I'm going to do is take my light, what is this? Bermuda Bay. My light Bermuda Bay. Actually, I didn't use Bermuda Bay. I lied. I used Pool Party. My dark Pool Party. So all I did is I took and I basically traced around the edge of that sort of glittery border with my blends. And I don't have to color much because there's not a lot of the border that shows, but I just want to do enough so that when I layer that pink tag over top, I'm going to see blue and not white. So I'm just going to add a little bit of color all the way around this tag, just like this. Okay, and then when I go to layer my pink on there, just see how all I see is blue. Okay, do a little bit more over here. Let's touch that up a bit. Okay, so you don't have to do a good job coloring. You're just adding a little bit of color around the edge. Okay, now I've already stamped and die cut my label. I did that by stamping Melon Mambo on Melon Mambo cardstock. So it's tone on tone. And then I die cut it using the framelits. But we are going to stamp our little sweets for you. So I'm using one of the images from the stamp set and some Memento black ink. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that in the middle of my tag, just like that. Okay, easy peasy. And then I'm going to take and pop this up with some dimensionals. Okay, just like this. Get these guys out of here. Now, one thing I want to point out, this tag is not symmetrical. See how this has a little point here and it's round here? This is the same. It's round at the top and has a little point. So make sure you get this the right way. It's going to look a little odd if you put it on the opposite way. Okay, so there's my tag. That's not very well centered, but I'm looking at it off to the side. Good enough. Good enough for Canada, as my husband likes to say. I don't know where he got that one, but whatever. So now I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of my tag. And I'm going to go ahead and pop that up on my lid. Now you have to decide whether you want your stripes to go straight, whether you want them on a diagonal, whether you want them vertically. I think I'm going to do diagonal. I just think diagonal is more visually pleasing. And then I have these cute little candies. Now these were cut with the thinlits that come in the die set. Okay, so there's 3 different candy shapes. And all I'm doing is taking and arranging them. So I had 3 sort of poking out the top of my tag. And we'll do one of these guys down here. Kind of like that. And then this guy just went down on the bottom of the tag. Just like that. Okay, easy peasy. Now, the only other thing that I did on here was add some ribbon. And I'll just show you real quick how I did that. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Hope you're having a good day. Are you babysitting? So I'm going to use some tear and tape, and I'm going to apply it to the edge all the way around in the middle of my lid here. So I'm going all the way around. And this is just because I don't want this ribbon to slide off when I'm opening and closing my lid. Okay, so I'm going to put this ribbon on and I want it to be secure. So otherwise you could probably get away with just a couple of glue dots, but because this is going to be used a fair bit, I want to make sure that it's secure. So now I'm going to peel off my backing. Oopsie. And I've got some of this beautiful Granny Apple Green and Coastal Cabana ribbon. So you can decide which side you want facing out. I am going to use my Coastal Cabana, and I'm just going to start, again, I always start at the seam and go all the way around. Attempting to get it straight-ish. Now the nice thing is if you get it on and it's not quite straight, you can pull it off and readjust. Okay, and then just snip it, and I'm going to add a little glue dot where it overlaps just to make sure that that is secure. Now, here we go with the glue dots again. I need heat down here. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to set that up actually on my base, and then I can add my bow. So here's your bow tying lesson number 2. Oh, Princess is asleep. Wish I was asleep. No, I don't. I like stamping with you guys, but naps are good too. Don't you wish you were little again? Okay, I'm digressing. I need to go back to tying bows. Here we go. So pinching my loops, crossing my left loop over my right, and popping it through. All right. Now, just see how this is double-sided ribbon. Here's a little tip. And if I don't want this to be green, I want it to be blue, all I'm going to do is take and twist that and pull. Okay? So it kind of twists underneath the knot, and that keeps it all one color. Okay, so I just kind of twist it and pull it tight. It's that easy. Okay, trimming my tails, and I'm adding a glue dot, And then I'm going to pop that on here, and I didn't plan this very well because I kind of want to use the bow to hide the seam, but that's not too bad. All right, that's all there is to it. Really quick and easy. These are the most adorable little treat holders. They're super easy to cover. Like once you make your template, it's easy to just whip up the template and then cut them out. All right, there you go. Done and done. All right, now moving on to my very favorite project because I love fun fold cards. I'm gonna get this stuff out of the way. I need some space here. I'm gonna bring in project number 3. Too much stuff. This one. All right, so you've all probably seen bridge fold cards before, right? Right. They're easy. They're a real wow, but they're super easy. The nice thing about them is they fold perfectly flat and fit into a regular standard envelope, okay, for mailing. So lots of fun. Stand up, give a cute little display, but fold flat for mailing, which is a win-win if you ask me. All right. So I'm going to show you how to put this together. Bring in my bits and pieces here. So you're starting with, I may as well dump it all out. There's a lot of bits and pieces in this one. Come on, look at them all. Lots of bits. Okay. So you are starting with a piece of cardstock that is 8 inches by, just forgot, 4 1/4. So 8 this way by 4 1/4. All right. And then you are going to score, and I have to bring in my ruler because I don't remember these measurements. Okay, so going from the left edge, I'm scoring at 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 5 1/2, and 6 3/4. Okay, again, I will put these measurements in the description in a little bit. Okay, oops, can you see that? There we go. I'll do that again. So 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 5 1/2, and 6 3/4. Okay, those are my score lines. So then I'm going to take and I'm going to make a mountain, and I'm going to make a valley. Okay, and again, I don't have my bone folder, so we're going to pretend that that's a really nice crisp fold. And then again, I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to do the same thing: a mountain and a valley. Okay, so that's creating the basis for my bridge fold. Okay, that's my card base. So far, so good. Yeah. All right, so now I have some of that awesome DSP. So this is just a Coastal Cabana polka dot, which I just think is too cute. It's also got some fun candies on the other side if you like that pattern better, but I'm going with something a little more subdued. So this piece is cut to 2 3/4, 2 3/4 by 4, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and add a bit of fast fuse on the back of it, and this is going to be my background in here, in this little recessed panel here. So I'm going to stick that guy on, like that. And then I have 2 strips that are 1 inch by 4 inches, okay? And they're going to be my front panels. So again, I'm just going to pop these on. And when you glue these on, you're going to have an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. Okay, so there's 1, and there is number 2. Okay, so starting to fold, see the card come to life here, right? What do I call these cards? They're called bridge fold. Okay, it's a bridge. Okay, connecting the 2 panels. That's what they're called, Alfie. Okay. All right, so there is my card base. Now, in here, I'm not sure you can see. I'll show you from the bottom. Do you see that extra little piece that's in there that I've glued some of the Apothecary jars to? Or you can see it better this way. We're going to add that extra little piece. So all I've done is I've cut a little strip of cardstock. It's a half inch wide by half inch this way by 4 inches. Okay, so half by 4. And I've scored it at a ½ inch on either end. Okay, so I'm going to fold my score lines. I'm folding one way and 1 the other way. So I'm kind of making a Z. Do you see that? See the Z there? Okay. All right, now there's an easy way to get this on here. So I am going to take and put a glue dot on each of my little tabs here, the scored pieces. So there's 1 on here and there's 1 on here. Okay. And I'm going to start by laying my piece across the front of my card. I'm putting it about 1 inch up, okay, from the bottom. And I'm just going to close this panel, just like that, okay? Then I'm going to take and pull this across, and I'm going to close this panel. And when I open it, da, 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 okay, there's my little, that's my little ledge that I can glue my Apothecary jars to. Okay, super easy way to get that on there. Okay, Now, I have gone ahead, because this is heat embossed, and I didn't want you to have to listen to the heat tool. I went ahead and stamped and embossed and die cut this. So I stamped the label and the happy birthday sentiment in Versamark ink on black cardstock, because I was going for a chalkboard look. And then I heat embossed it in white and then die cut it. Okay, and that gives me my little sentiment. So this one is going to get stuck on with just a couple of dimensionals. So I'll pop the backings off there, okay, and this is going to go centered on that back panel. So right about there looks good, okay. And then I can go ahead and start attaching my Apothecary jars. So again, these are die cut from the DSP. There's nothing stamped and colored. So for those of you that don't like coloring, you don't have to, okay, they come already colored. You just have to cut them out. And to put these on, again, I just use a couple of glue dots. And I stuck them just on the front of my little strip here. So I'm going to put one here. And then I need a tall skinny one to fit there. Again, a couple of glue dots. And we'll put that one right about there. Okay. All right, now I'm going to put my bridge on. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this flat. And I have my bridge piece. Now before I put this on, I'm going to put my little accent piece on here. So this piece is 1 inch wide by 5.5 inches long. Okay, so 1 by 5.5. And my DSP is 3/4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to go ahead, put the fast fuse on there, and stick that down on my little strippy here. Okay. And then, hi Kathy, how are ya? Now, when I glue this on, there are a couple of ways to do this. I personally like my bridge fold cards to be flush, like I want my bridge to be flush with the bottom of my card. Some people will put them on a little higher, and that gives just a slightly different look, okay? But for this one, I'm going to put mine right at the bottom. So I'm going to put some fast fuse right along those front panels, along the bottom. And I'm going to take my strip and I'm going to line it up flush with the left edge and the bottom, and lay it right across, and it's going to fit exactly across to that right edge, okay? And then, oh, that's not cooperating. My score isn't quite right there, but you get the idea. All right, so there is my bridge, okay? Now I can add my other jars. So this time I'm going to put my glue dots actually on the front edge, so that, actually I should start with a smaller one. Put the end one on first so that I don't run out of room. So this guy is just going to kind of tuck right in here. All right. And then this guy is going to go right about there. And then my last one, a couple more glue dots, and we'll tuck it in over on this side, just like that. Okay. Not that guy's a little cockeyed, but you get the idea. All right, now I have another little, just a scrap, 1/2 inch wide scrap of black cardstock, basic black. And again, I've heat embossed in white, make it a sweet celebration. And we're gonna create a little banner, and I'm gonna use my tailored tag punch to punch it. So I get nice even tails on my banner. So there's one. And then same thing this way. Again, when you're doing this, you always wanna go in to see where your sentiment actually is, so that you leave yourself enough space. You don't want to cut your banner too short, right? Okay, let's get that out of the way. And then I put this on with some dimensionals, okay, popped it up. And for this, when I have big long strips like this, I like to use the edges of my dimensional sheets. Just makes it really quick and easy. I'll add one more here. And before I put these on, actually, I'm going to add my little candies. Okay, so I have several more little candies that I cut, again, using the Thinlits in the die set. So I'm going to glue a couple to the back side of this little banner. So I'll put one here. Come here. I cut my nails off again because I have to teach guitar again this semester, and I let them grow over exams, and yeah, I'm not used to having short nails again. We'll add, let's add this guy here. One there, and then I'm going to put one of these guys on the front like this. Okay, so we got just a little bunch of candy on one end, and we're going to do the same thing on the other end, except I'm missing a candy. Where did it go? Oh well, I can always add another one later. So I'm going to go ahead and add a glue dot there. And there's one of my candies there. And we'll add another guy on here. Like that. And then I will add a third one. Oh, there it is. It was hiding. There it is. We'll add it onto here. Just like that. Okay. And then this whole thing is ready to get glued onto the front of my card. Just like that. Okay. Now, for those who want to be able to write something on their card, what I did on this sample here is I just took and I added a panel, Whisper White panel to the back. It's easy to write on, so all you do is fold your card flat. You can write your greeting, okay? When I'm done, can we go to the marina? Sure, we can go to the marina. It's half price apps tonight. Tomorrow is Wine Wednesdays, $5 glasses of wine. Would you like to fly up and join me? I'll meet you there. Anyhow, there it is. Quick and easy, not hard at all. Like, the scoring is not complicated, and just a fun little variation on your standard card, okay? How fun would it be? Like, how fun would it be to get this as a birthday card? Now, I did want to mention I added some Wink of Stella to my jars again because, you know, everything's better with Wink of Stella. And that's it. Quick and easy and done. You like them? Aw, don't cry, Michelle. We need to plan a trip. You got to come up here. Thanks. Glad you like my projects. Okay, there they are again. Okay, so this again is the Sweetest Thing Bundle in the Occasions Catalog, page 15. The bundle in Canada sells for $61. And you want to buy the bundle because, you know, if you only get the dies, you're going to end up wanting the stamp set after. So just get the bundle because it's just the way to go. Trust me, I speak from experience. So adorable, 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 really fun and awesome bright colors. All right, that's it for today. I was quick and I hope I didn't forget anything. All right, thanks everybody. And I will see you again next week for some more Tuesday Live at 5. Bye for now.